The campaign for people not to lose their vote, why would people be losing their vote?
It's because the government have put in place a new voter registration system where people need to get on the register as individuals. In the past, universities were allowed to just sign up everybody who was in the halls of residence, and households were allowed to just, someone in the household was allowed to just put down on a bit of paper all the people living in that house. The government has scrapped that system, and everyone as an individual has to sign up to the register. And a lot of people don't realise this. They've not had a really good awareness campaign on this, and loads of people are falling off the electoral register when they don't realise it. So it's really important to get people on the register, and I'm really, really pleased that DMU put in place this really good scheme to get students on the register, and they've had 96% of students engaging with that scheme.
You signed the Equality for Mental Health Act campaign earlier this month.
I think there's a lot of stigma still attached, sadly, to mental health. And indeed, we've seen some controversial remarks this week from a prominent figure in public life, very disappointing remarks. And I think we've always got to be challenging the stigma around mental health. DMU students have been running their own campaigns on mental health and stigma, and I'm going to be retweeting and joining in on that campaign in social media today as well.
What mental health services are available in Leicester at the moment?
Well, there are. I mean, there's the full range of mental health services that you'd expect, but there's also many voluntary organisations who provide support and support networks, and indeed there are. The student union ran counselling networks as well, but it always feels to me that the mental health provision by the National Health Service is not of a standard which is acceptable, which is why we should all be campaigning on this.
You tweeted an article earlier which said, quote, "We can't let David Cameron smother our rights to freedom of information." What does this refer to?
Well, the Freedom of Information Act, which allows the citizen to get information to hold government and civil bodies to account, is being watered down by David Cameron, and he's going to make it more difficult for people to get information from the Freedom of Information Act. Indeed, I think they're going to be excluding universities from the Freedom of Information Act. So students, if they are got an issue about something DMU might be doing, will not be able to go to the Freedom of Information Act to get information for their campaigns.
Finally, there's been a lot of press glee over reports that there's been party disunity or disappointment with Corbyn. What would you say to these?
Well, the Labour Party has got to demonstrate that it can be a strong, credible alternative for government, and it's incumbent upon all of us in the Labour Party to work towards that and work towards putting in place measures and a direction of travel which make us competitive at the next general election.